court today, Your Honor, because my college best friend decided to beg me for 4 additional seats, technically 5, to my wedding, my very small private wedding. And I accommodated her by actually adding another 4 people table setting for her to come, and then she just ghosted me and didn't show up at all.
Wow. So you're telling me that this young lady, your college best friend of many, many years, I assume, did not even show up at your most important day of your life?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. Did the wedding happen?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, let's get that on the table. I can't believe that's true, Miss Franklin. Tell me it's not so.
Yes, Your Honor, it is so.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well tell me why.
Due to the nasty social media posts she posted about me in a blog, one of our mutual friends showed me that. She had a bridesmaid that was very nasty and rude, treating me like the help.
Oh, no.
And me and her go way back, and she didn't invite me to be a bridesmaid, Your Honor, and she was a bridesmaid at my wedding.
Your Honor.
Well, I see that ring is ringing, by the way. I can barely pay attention to what you're talking about, Madam Plaintiff.
Thank you. You know, go big or go home.
Yeah, whoever went all the way.
Yes,
it's fantastic. Okay, so you mentioned some evidence, Miss Franklin. Go ahead and offer that up to my bailiff here so I can see a bit of what you are alleging.
Can I just say that I did not make a social media blog post? So you know how social media has message groups, support groups. Prior to my wedding, planning my wedding, I joined a message group. And it's basically for that purpose. It's basically to go in there and vent. And that post is only intended for people that belong to that social media group.
It's supposed to be private.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so just so everybody knows what we're talking about, I'm looking at a post from Miss Jennings here, the bride. Let freedom ring for all the brides being guilted into adding people to the wedding party and inviting their family. So over it. Honeymoon countdown. Well then.
That doesn't sound like an invitation.
Tell us how you really feel, ma'am.
So that was after I called the caterer and extended it for 4 people.
So you did it and was mad about it?
I was frustrated. My husband now and her former husband were best friends in college.
Former husband, okay.
Her former husband.
Okay. So the 4 of y'all were all close.
Yes, ma'am.
And then it sounds like y'all got married? You and
her and Ralph got married.
You and Ralph got married?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that did not work out long term because obviously you and Ralph are divorced today.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because she was cheating.
Okay, well that's not my business nor yours.
That is not true. Don't go by what you heard on the streets, baby girl.
Okay, so you and Mr. Ralph are divorced, and what does that do to the friendship you have with Miss Jennings?
She took his side, Your Honor.
Well, you know what?
Oh, she knows that he cheated? She was like, because she cheated, and she still took his side. That is crazy already. I wouldn't want to go to her wedding either. Already, I am leaning in the defendant's side for this because it's like, you took the side of my husband who cheated on me, ex-husband who cheated on me. You're no friend of mine. Let's continue watching.
Stop, y'all. Because unfortunately, this is the kind of casualty situation we have when everybody's friends together and then divorce happens. The friendships become casualties of the divorce agreements half the time. They're not negotiated in the way we do a house or a car necessarily, but people definitely form alliances and you really find out who your friends are in a divorce. Yes, so after that, you're saying that she chose your ex-husband's side. That's what you're saying. And what did that do to y'all's friendship?
It destroyed it.
Okay, so then if it was destroyed though, Miss Franklin, you can't have it both ways. Why then do you expect to be a bridesmaid?
Because we've been close for years, Your Honor, and I just needed her for closure during the divorce. She didn't even call to check on me, send a text message, anything, call, let's go to brunch.
And that's not good, but however, once it's her moment, and she's the bride-to-be, we can't keep centering ourselves, Miss Franklin, not if this is the friend you say she is. Okay, so go ahead.
Let me just say that she had a wedding 10 years ago, huge wedding. I was her maid of honor in her wedding.
Okay.
I did everything for her. I didn't complain about it.
Well, you want to cook
I just did
That's what you're supposed to do. Both of you have admitted that the friendship is not what it used to be.
Well,
no, you got to listen now. See, that's what's wrong with a lot of us today. We evaluate modern, real-time relationships that are happening today based off of what it was 5 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago. See, we've got to stop retroactively assessing relationships and press fast forward to real time. So you cannot expect behavior, Miss Jennings, from Miss Franklin that would have made sense 10 years ago, when 10 years ago, y'all's friendship was much closer. So now you've got to hold her to a standard that applies for today.
So I understand that, Your Honor, and that is why I didn't invite her to be in my wedding. My sister was my maid of honor.
Okay,
my work best friend was my bridesmaid. When she told me her feelings were hurt because I didn't ask her to be in the wedding, I told her she could be an usher. She could just host people.
No.
I mean, that's
no, ma'am, Miss Jennings, no, ma'am.
Oh, you want to be in my wedding? Well, you can be an usher. Oh my gosh, this is like these people, they should not be friends. Clearly, they do not act like it at all. I would not go to this girl's wedding if she treated me like that.
That is pure shade.
No,
Okay?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, it is. It is my courtroom, and I say what shade is and isn't in here today. Don't make me check the coats. Just don't, at that point, ma'am, don't worry about
She
it.
shouldn't have told me she would do it.
Ma'am, I'm not gonna go back and forth with you in the courtroom. Now you have to listen. Otherwise, you're gonna be in the same situation again. So, y'all are not close anymore, but she was still invited to the wedding, right? At a bare minimum, she made the guest list.
And I told her that she could bring her new boo,
Okay, so you gave her 1 + 1.
even though Gerald was there in the wedding.
The ex-husband?
Yes.
So everybody in the wedding but me. Still.
Okay. So this part we're not gonna do. Y'all both, I can tell, loved each other a lot at one point. I think you still both love each other today.
I do love her.
I know, and she loves you too with her mean mugging self. She do, but she's hurt, and I'm sure you're hurt. So unfortunately, this is not a therapy session though, so I'm not going to be providing everything that you both need to restore this friendship, but I hope y'all will do that work. I really do. But what I am gonna determine today is the fiscal nature of this claim. So, you give her a +1 and a wedding invitation. You accept it, right? You RSVP?
Yes, Your Honor.
Me and New Boo are coming.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so at what point, ma'am, did you decide well, let's back it up. Hold on. At what point do you ask this woman for additional guests?
The day of the wedding.
What?
You have got to be joking. I do not care who you are. You do not ask for additional additional guests the day of the wedding. You don't do that. To even think that is even a possibility, the audacity of this woman. Maybe the bride has a point.
The day of the wedding? You asked for three +1s the day of the wedding, ma'am?
4.
Okay, hold on. Why, when, and how?
My parents. They know Nicole. They've been knowing Nicole since we were in college. And they were pressing me, Your Honor, about getting into this wedding.
Not even just her parents, but her sister and her husband.
Okay,
so it's her brother-in-law.
but now you look crazy, right? You know that you look crazy. And now tell me why.
Because I'm over here trying to support my friend.
No, that's not why. That's not supporting your friend. I think that's your guilt. I think that's your guilt showing. I think that's you feeling away that the relationship, probably because of mutual fault, has deteriorated so bad that y'all are really both lying to each other. You're lying with your expectations. I don't think it was about your parents and your sister and your brother. No, you wanted to see just how far she would go to accommodate you after you were clearly not prioritized in this wedding party. So you were manipulating your position. And you, ma'am, were also being guilt tripped, and you were trying to accommodate unreasonable requests. I mean, with a clear mind, ma'am, same day? Please. That's you trying to ease your conscience for probably things you didn't do to restore the friendship. So I can see this plain. I said I wasn't going to be a therapist, but here.
She is absolutely right on this. What do you guys think the judgment's going to be? Do you think she's going to award the plaintiff or award the defendant? I don't really know where I lean on this because generally speaking, the bride accommodated her request. She didn't have to. She probably shouldn't have, but she still did. She had the wherewithal to make a decision herself. So I think she might rule in favor of the defendant. Let's see.
Here I am. Therapy session. Okay, so let's get to the money, ma'am. You're suing her for $360. Why?
$60 per person for 6 people.
Okay, so including herself. Now I want to know, you said you didn't go because you saw the...
That's not the only reason, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead and tell me another reason before I make my ruling.
The bridesmaid that she had was being very rude, and I just felt uninvited at that
So this was
point.
at the bachelorette party, correct?
Yes.
And what did she say to you now?
She was treating me like a maid, like I'm a slave or something. Pick this up, do this, do that. Just having a little nasty attitude, and I'm like, Nicole, get your friend.
And what okay, first of all, did you observe, let's just say she's exaggerating because people do that in court, but is any of it true? Did you have a bridesmaid, ma'am, or maid of honor rather, that was disrespectful to this woman?
Well, my maid of honor was my sister, and her and my sister have history. We were all friends. They have had beef in the past.
Was your sister jealous of the relationship you had with this woman, ma'am? Just tell the truth. Okay, yes. Okay, thank you. Okay, so your sister felt a way that you would not, listen, every issue y'all are talking about, I've lived it. But I digress. I'm here to talk about this $360.
I just want my money.
The court has ruled that you're not getting it, ma'am. I'm just playing with you. You are. The court is actually ruling in favor of the plaintiff. Here's why. Your request, ma'am, Ms. Franklin, for 6 additional seats on the same day of the wedding was not genuine. I don't believe. I believe you were trying to see just how far she would go to accommodate you so that then you can play in her face and hurt her the way she has hurt you. I will not have it. The court rules in favor of the plaintiff. For the full ruling, $360.
Well, I did not see that coming because I thought that the facts of the case were that the bride still accommodated her even though she shouldn't have and she had the choice to do that. But now that the judge said that it seemed like there was malicious intent on the defendant, I can totally see why this ruling is the way it is. What do you guys think about the judgment? Do you think it was too much, too little, or just right? I would love to know your thoughts. Let me know. Love ya.